Okay, so we've got talks between Trump and Putin now. We had an American citizen, a teacher that was in prison in Russia. Trump arranged for his release. You never saw Biden do this. If it was a lesbian basketball player, he'd have her back in 5 seconds flat. But Trump actually is getting it done and in negotiations with Putin to end the war in Ukraine. Here's a little bit of that here.
President Trump has just spoken with Russian President Putin, and some details come directly from the president. He has just put out on his Truth Social, and so it's everywhere now, that they discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, and the dollar. He also revealed the two agreed to visit each other's countries. He said, I had a lengthy and highly productive phone call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. I just read what he said they talked about. We both reflected on the great history of our nations and the fact that we fought so successfully together in World War II, remembering that Russia lost tens of millions of people, as we likewise lost so many. We each talked about the strengths of our respective nations and the great benefit that we will someday have in working together. But first, as we both agreed, so this is Trump posting about his recent call just moments ago with Putin. He said, but first, as we both agreed, we want to stop the millions of deaths taking place in the war with Russia and Ukraine. President Putin even used my very strong campaign motto of common sense. We both believe very strongly in it. We agreed to work together very closely, including visiting each other's nations. We also have agreed to our respective terms, starting negotiations immediately. And we will begin by calling President Zelensky of Ukraine to inform him of the conversation, something which I will be doing right now. So this is playing out contemporaneously as we're here live on Outnumbered. I have asked Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Director of CIA John Radcliffe, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, and Ambassador and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to lead the negotiations, which I feel strongly about will be successful. Millions of people have died in a war that would have not happened if I were president.
All right, so there you go. So Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, has already had a meeting in Germany. He was in Germany, and then he was also meeting with NATO members and military members, and he specifically stated at that meeting that Ukraine is not going to be put into NATO. It's not going to get NATO protection, and nor should it. It is not of any strategic value whatsoever. Ukraine used to belong to the Soviet Union, to Russia. If they want to hash out old gripes, go ahead and hash out old gripes. It's got nothing to do with the United States. We're not sending any more money. They're going to sit down and have negotiations. They're going to bring this to an end. And Ukraine will very likely have to deal with the territory that they lost, because, you know, the question that's asked is there a situation, a scenario where you are able to take that territory back if given the opportunity for it? And the answer is no, they can't take it back. They're fighting to hold what they have. So bring it to an end now, bring the death to an end now, and then put Putin back in Russia to cool his heels. Zelensky, you notice he's not begging for money anymore. He's not flying back and forth on his give me money tour, so give me money that I can embezzle tour, because that's what him and all his corrupt generals and scumbags in Ukraine have been doing, stealing American money and throwing it around all over the place. I think it was Tucker Carlson who said he was in the Swiss Alps, you know, the rich areas, ski areas, Ukrainians all over the place throwing money around where it's going out of style. So your country's in a major war fighting for its survival, and your people are running around throwing around a whole bunch of money to do their thing. So no more money for the corrupt Zelensky and corrupt Ukraine, and Trump is going to negotiate with them and bring it to an end. Ukraine is of no strategic value to us whatsoever. We don't get anything from them. I understand they ship grain to Europe and stuff like that. Great for them. Let Europe step in if they have any concerns. It's got nothing to do with us. It's got nothing to do with NATO. We don't need NATO involved. So I'm happy to hear that that Trump has opened up a dialogue. And Putin knows he needs to talk to him. But Biden wouldn't talk to him. He played that stupid game where Biden wasted taxpayer dollars and he just flushed them down the toilet in Ukraine and wouldn't attempt to negotiate. All he did was press the matter and make issues worse and put the whole world at risk with larger scale weapons potentially being used if they push Putin a little too far. And he's a dictator. You push him too far, he's going to get desperate. And instead of finding a way to fix that situation, Putin's been losing over there too, right? So he needs a way to exit gracefully. So it needs to work. This is a situation that has to work out for everybody, not just one. The Ukrainians need to stop losing people. Putin needs a good excuse to pull out and fall back to Russia. And if it shows that he has some small win, that he got some territory, it's over, and he's coming back, and everyone can have their little talking point and call it a win, that's what the world needs to bring this whole thing to an end. And once again, you can thank Trump for doing it because nobody else did. So thank you, Trump, and thank you, Pete Hegseth, for stepping in and saying, these are the things that are happening. These are the things that aren't happening. You're not getting NATO. You're not getting shit. No soup for you. All right, guys, so that's the update for today. I'm running behind with everything, but I just wanted to get something posted, all right? Thanks, everyone. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for all the new followers. I'll see you all again.